That's never really gone out in the meta, but the Stalker harass it had. In the bottom left,
GNL Green Wings Terminator.
in the upper right, in the red,
StarCraft Curious.
These are really good games so far today, by the way. Like, we're seeing some Protoss players play pretty fantastically. Tasia played quite well.
Yeah.
I think it's Curious didn't actually play, like, poorly there
well, he
necessarily.
was on the defense the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, he got really caught off guard by, you know, the Warp Prism coming across, force field in that ramp. He was just behind the force fields, and he's like, uh-oh, I guess I have to walk around because there's 3 sentries and he can do that again. And then his hatchery's gone because there's so many Zealots. It was just well-timed, well-planned out here by Terminator. I like Terminator. You know what? Last year I was just like, oh, God, who is this guy? I guess this is why people are angry at Protoss. This guy is just getting slammed by everyone, but he somehow made it in
I mean,
Code
like
S.
I said, he was like an extra in the in Star Trek.
Yeah, but
that
now
guy
he's
who's going to
like,
die in the episode, so we at least have some drama, but he's not integral to the storyline. Now he looks like a powerhouse.
he needs to change his name to T1000 because, I mean, he's more powerful than a regular
Keeps this
Terminator.
up.
That's what he is,
He needs to
Tasteless.
change his name to Skynet.
He's really doing well, though. Like, I'm so impressed. Like, this guy is kept on.
Uh-oh.
This guy is kept on, practiced hard. He's so good right now.
And when we see players do this, a lot of times it's simply to make the other player panic because he can just cancel that or not even, you know, use it. There's a lot of ways to do this. It depends on how much he's actually practiced the cannon rush. It looks like he just wants to make a wait, hold on. He's going to try it first. He's going to try it.
There's 4 drones down here, and they're all kind of spread. He's really considering going for this cannon rush.
He's going to do it. God, really nice blocking there by Curious.
Yeah, well, there you go. He's
All right, he's going to do it. Now he just needs to get the wall up.
Wow. All right,
those,
so that's
those
all
4
cannons.
cannons?
Yeah, it is. And,
okay.
well, I mean, he's going to have to cancel now. He didn't pull more drones, so if you don't already have drones down there for this many cannons, you cannot stop him with so few drones. So he'll be able to cancel most of his cannons.
Okay, now what he wants to do is follow the drone. Oh, nice. Okay, I was going to say, what you want to do after the cannon rush works is you follow the drone and just block them from expanding, and then you basically have won. As long as you play defensive and safe, you're going to be just fine. But
now, I like what Curious has done taking the gold. This is a nice way to make parity, or even more so, off of being a bit behind after a successful cannon rush.
You do have to wonder, I mean, is it actually worth it to ever cannon rush on a map where they can take a gold base? I mean, let's talk about this for a second. I mean, is this ever, because that is the most obvious solution is, okay, I can't take my normal base, but this is already a weird game, right? Positionally, he's got cannons. In my expansion, and obviously I'm Zerg, I want to be all tucked together, but at the same time, his Nexus is really late. He has these cannons that aren't really impacting the game as far as, like, I guess we'll have to get rid of those cannons eventually, but to just take the gold base, unless he then cannon rushes the gold base, I feel like Zerg should come out ahead.
I think you're probably right. I have a hard time reconciling exactly where a Zerg is in comparison to a Protoss. With a cannon rush again like that into a gold base like this, it's like a little bit hard to see exactly.
It's tough too, because like every game where we see a cannon rush is a little bit different, right?
Yes,
how many workers were pulled for the Zerg, and then second of all,
how many cannons
were
canceled?
made? Yeah, exactly, and canceled. How many were kept? Then, you know, how many cannons did he opt to make back at home in case of an all-in? And so it's a real tricky situation.
I agree with you, though.
Only people like SOS know every answer to that, but
oh yeah, SOS knows.
But
he's looking at this, he knows exactly what to do to win from here.
It's a tough one to call, but it seemed to me at least that the fact that the Zerg just gets the gold base, and obviously it's a vulnerable base, but what's Protoss really doing right now? The Stargate, excuse me, is about to finish. The Twilight Council is about to finish, but watch the minerals for Zerg just start to skyrocket here as this gets up and running. He'll have more than enough to, I think, hold off any attack, right? He should have more than enough. The only thing I would say, on that note is we'll have to see how he handles harass. Like, for instance, the Oracle here, this is 3 locations that are all very far apart from each other, so maybe that's how you punish the Zerg best, but I feel like a perfect Zerg would hold that anyways.
The problem might be that the Overlord saw a Stargate warping in, so if he doesn't have spores, he deserves to lose. Because he has the gold base, so it's not like he can't afford them.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
You know, as far as gold bases against Protoss go, I actually have very strong opinions on this. I've been meaning to write something up about it, but I actually think, in theory, it's imbalanced in Zerg's favor. Gold bases against Protoss. I think that if a Zerg plays perfectly, Protoss can't win.
Well, I think there's something to that, Artos, is because the Zerg is going to probably get the gold base before the Protoss does.
Yeah, like I'm saying, if they fast expand to it, like if they take it right off the bat, I think that, like for instance, he should be able to stop this Oracle, and then now, like look at this, what he's doing, right? He's going for a +1 blink all in probably. Now a +1 blink all in against a regular 3-base Zerg might win or might not win, right? Could go either way.
Yeah.
It's like the Zerg can hold it. It's not a broken strategy. The Zerg can hold it. But now the Zerg has more income for that with less supply devoted to it quicker because of the gold base. So I really don't think that this attack is going to kill Curious. I really, like I think Curious has to screw up to lose this.
I like how he's using the Oracle by those cannons.
Yeah,
that's sort of cool, actually. Yeah. We haven't had a cannon rush, so
it keeps that area alive a lot longer because normally you clear it like with a bunch of lings or something like that. But
this is important for the Zerg too. He needs to open this up because the only real burden the Zerg has, again, if it wasn't a gold base, it'd be a completely different story. But the only real burden the Zerg has is the awkward position, the fact this is not all connected by creep.
Yeah.
But let's see. I mean, it's also a question of how quickly does the gold base get to kick it. You can't transfer drones as fast, so maybe this attack will be strong. We'll have to see. Right now, I would think any good Zerg player though should hold this.
Yeah, like I think he's going to harass the back mineral. Well, as we see, he is going to do that. But oh, he actually blinks straight up. Well, this is just not going to work. And the thing is, when you look at it, like in theory, it shouldn't work anyways. I mean, this.
Is it going to work? Is he going to be able to push forward?
I don't think so. I mean, I guess he killed 11 drones. That's pretty good.
Now, also, even if he holds his spot, he's not mining from the gold base, right? He doesn't have to kill this hatchery. It's actually up to the Zerg to figure out how to engage into this really uncomfortable position, right?
Yeah.
Like, look at that. How many Zerg units were just killed there? That was fairly easy engagement for Protoss. I think even a lesser player would be able to control that.
Yeah. When Hydra speed is done, though, I guess if he goes around with his whole army, then he blinks up with everything. So this is actually very nice. If it was a full frontal attack, I would say 100% Zerg holds.
You know what I wonder, man?
But behind the minerals, I like this. It's actually, this makes a lot of sense what he's doing, just denying the gold minerals. And while he denies it, who's mining more? The Zerg is no longer mining more, right? So, I mean, he's made it 2-base versus 2-base, which is exactly what Protoss wants. He can't kill this base, but this is great.
Those cannons are still up in the second. Okay, he's going to come around here and just try to completely bludgeon this attack. But this is risky because he could blink up into the high ground and actually just take out the...
Shouldn't he just blink up and kill the hatch now?
I think that's the only thing he should be doing right now. I'm surprised he hasn't done it already.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really confused, actually. I mean, let's see if this might work out anyways. And I guess if it works out, then that answers our question. There was no need to do it. But just all these Hydras like this, I think he should have blinked up there like this. And he should have done this a while back.
I think if he had insta-blinked up with everything, by the time the Hydras come back around, he just micros towards the back and goes back down. But
I think this game's, if he kills all these Stalkers, I think this game's basically over.
Yeah. Well, now he should be able to just reclaim the gold. And now we're back at that situation where it's like, okay, gold. He has the gold base, which is...
Okay, let's talk about something else Protoss could have done here, which would have been pretty interesting. What if he got him faked pushing this out and actually made a warp prism and just blocked off the main and just killed that?
Yeah, I think you have to be tricky against the gold base, basically. I think that being tricky is one of the only ways you can win.
I don't think you win this with just some proper build.
No, a proper frontal attack, like, they can hold a frontal attack with a regular base, so why can't they hold it with a gold base? Of course they can hold it with a gold base. Makes it easier.
Here's something he probably should have done a while ago, was actually send these Zealots up here. In fact, he wouldn't even need a Warp Prism to do this now I think about it. He could have just warped stuff in and sent a sentry over there. But now the main's going to be under pressure. He's still coming out here. And, you know, if Terminator continues to engage, well, maybe he can get Curious out of position here.
Yeah, and these Zealots actually doing a lot of work over here. The Stalker's kind of getting stuck because he did blink towards the minerals there instead of walk towards. So had to wait a little bit to get that blink back. But that's a nice move with those Zealots up the main base. Keeping that Oracle kept that pylon with the cannons alive. You know, I think Terminator might be one of the smartest Protosses that there is. The more I watch this play, the more I'm like, I think you kind of understand every situation what to do.
It's interesting, too, because he wasn't so on top a while back, and now he seems to really have this game whittled down to the very specific
Like,
periods.
he's not perfect. He makes mistakes. He makes poor decisions sometimes in game, as every player does.
Sure.
Except for Zest. And, you know, the thing is, he's just... I feel like he's just so smart. Like, I think that what you were saying about the Oracle sitting around the cannons for a little bit, I think that was actually very astute, because normally that's cleared before any attack comes. Normally that gets cleared pretty quick. They get enough lings, they're like, all right, I'm going to lose 10 lings. Let's kill this.
Yeah.
You know,
but
let's
keeping
bring
that
a
up
queen
there,
down to tank, and
it's a weird positional thing. He can't quite deal with it for a while, and then...
And that allowed him a second warping point right next to the main, where there's no creep. I mean, that's...
Yeah.
I think that those 3 Zealots were amazing. This Oracle has been pretty fantastic by now. This is... Wow, what an interesting game this is. This is a fantastic game.
Okay, he's coming up now, peeking over to that expansion. And forgive Artosis, guys, he's still sick here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Not as sick as Wednesday, though.
No, that was true sick.
Map control is going to Curious now. Note it is, because the gold base is owned, he does have serious power when it comes to pumping out a ton of units.
That is a lot of Stalkers. Oh, looks like he's just going to come for a massive flank here.
What? What?
Oh.
Did he just...
Well, I like what I'm seeing. Like, he would try. I think he tried to blink everything over there, right?
Yeah, I think that's what happened, because some of them blinked down and other ones blinked up. And
Yeah. It looks like he didn't have enough room, or they weren't close enough. I actually kind of missed it, but if he had blinked everything there, he would have crushed that group of Hydras. Instead, like, they got an okay-ish trade, but he still obviously killed it. I think Terminator is just so smart. Look at the way he's playing here, man. Like, he's...
Problem is that he has to make a big splash very quickly here, because the longer that this game goes on, the more behind Terminator is going to be. And Terminator actually, the way this matchup works, can't just go take his own gold base. Can't just go do that. He's going to come up here, push back these Hydras again. Problem is, I think Ling Hydra is a great counter to just Stalkers. And the fact that these Ling Hydra numbers are getting bigger and bigger and bigger makes me a little bit worried here.
Certainly. Well, a good concave there. Nice blinks back from Terminator. As the support pylon warping in so he can continue this attack. He's basically done mining in his main, which is an issue.
I wonder how many minerals are left at the gold base, too.
I think the gold base is actually okay because he denied it for so long, which is now kind of starting to kick his butt because of that in a certain way. Yeah, see, there's actually a lot of minerals. He's not really sending drones there yet. Well, I guess he is at this moment, but didn't have many drones there. Probably because he knows that Terminator is so aggressive on this map right now. So it's 41 Stalkers against 36 Hydras at the moment. 1-1 against 1-0. They got all the upgrades for their units, basically.
Okay, they're going to come up now.
This is like a no man's land. They can't...
Yeah, I was going to say, if Zerg pushes too far in, he goes a little bit past that ramp, and you can see it's already unfavorable for him. Now, also note, he can go just to the left and stop him from mining there again if he wants. I think he should move those Stalkers over there at the top, move those down. That's bad. Ooh. The upper left side here for the Protoss fight. There you go. He needs to move that down. If he keeps that down here, he might actually win this.
Yeah, he got slaughtered on the top flank. You're right. If
he
had
lost
moved
like
that
5
down
or 6
immediately,
Stalkers,
he would have crushed, because the bottom flank he was winning hard. Well, not hard, but he was winning it, and then the top flank he was losing hard. So definitely that was the mistake there.
And he's going to keep blinking back here. And this is a bad engagement for Zerg here. We can see it's really just that angle there. The concave, convex.
What does Tesa say about that?
What does Tesa say? The concave beats the convex.
That's true, yeah.
It's true, and we're really seeing that right here. Yeah. He's pulling drones to get this mining here. This is a funny game because we don't normally see... Oh, my God. He's pulled the boys. We call that
pulled
the boys?
things.
He pulled.
They don't have a gender.
He pulled the bots.
Yeah.
So the probes coming up here, we really see those really didn't. For the Hydra attack rate, that really didn't do much. Yeah.
But I guess
they
he
bought
doesn't
him
need
all
them.
of like 0.3 seconds there.
Yeah. Well, looks like these Hydras will be able to crush through this, but this was a very fascinating game.
It could have turned out differently had he not handled that engagement poorly over there at the top.
Yeah, I think there were a couple things that Terminator might have messed up on there. Like,
GG.
I think the main thing might have been when the Hydras first came down on low ground to fight him. What if he had blinked straight up there? Because there wasn't enough
maybe
creep.
shot down the hatch.
Yeah, I think he could have at least gotten it deep yellow, and the Hydras would have had to run up back around where they came. And then, by then, he just micros out the back, right? And then he's back down behind in the same position. Then it's like, you can't ever get me. It's like a rook chasing a king alone on the chessboard or something like that.
It's interesting because it's you can really see that Terminator seems like a guy who's won a lot of games with just stalkers because he was confident in a lot of those engagements. And there was periods where I was saying, and you were saying that, you know, there's so many Hydras and Lings, he should just be able to hold this. But there was periods where, just based on the engagement, had Terminator controlled that attack a little bit better, he might have actually won that game in what I would imagine to be an unwinnable situation just based off the economic properties that two players were under.
Yeah. Well, fantastic game there. And we're going on to game number 3 now. King Sejong Station. See how this one goes for him. Wow, I'm becoming like a sick Terminator fan lately, man.
He looks fantastic. This is a Protoss who was completely overshadowed by all the other Protosses.
Yeah.
When we looked at who we had in the round.
I mean, SOS is on his team. SOS, like,
yeah,
one of the most successful Protoss of all time is right there, taking all the glory.
Well, we'll see what they have in store for us now as that game's loaded up. I'm Tasteless, with me as Artosis, and this is the greatest esports show of all time, the GSL